Okay, Dr. Mindy here, and I want to talk to you tonight about zinc. Last week, if you've been following me at all, last week I talked all about magnesium. I gave you what types of magnesium you should be taking. I talked about what a magnesium deficiency does to your brain. And if you're on my email list, I sent you out all my favorite magnesium products and all the articles I've been researching on magnesium. So hopefully you're experts on magnesium. And what I want people to understand is that there are some really simple things you can add into your diet to get this thing working better. And last week, of course, it was magnesium. Today, it's zinc. And one of the things that we're finding right now in our society is that our soils are so depleted. So even if you're amazing with your health, even if you're eating tons of fruits and vegetables, there's a very good chance that you are deficient in one of these minerals that I'm going to go through over the next several weeks. So magnesium is the mineral that calms your brain. So think anxiety, epilepsy, spasm muscles. Those are all excitatory situations where magnesium will calm it. With zinc, I want you to think almost the opposite. It actually lifts your brain. So zinc is one of the major nutrients needed to make serotonin and dopamine. Serotonin and dopamine are the two neurotransmitters you need to be happy. So if you're deficient in zinc, your body's not going to make enough serotonin and dopamine. What this might look like to you is a depression, which is probably one of the first things to think about if you're chronically depressed. You want to get yourself on a zinc supplement. I also, if you have some anxiety with that depression, I recommend a magnesium supplement. But you want to think, so depression is one. The other thing is you're just not perceiving happiness with the same kind of excitement that you did years ago. Well, that might be that your body's just not making enough serotonin or enough dopamine. So it can be as simple as add some zinc in and all of a sudden your happiness levels go up. But zinc is also doing a few other key things. So zinc helps your pancreas make enzymes to break down carbohydrates. So I got a lot of resetters that are watching this video and you can't get your blood sugar down no matter what you do. That might be a zinc deficiency. So just adding in zinc and now your blood sugar goes down and your ketones go up. It can be as simple as that. So we're also seeing that zinc is is massively necessary for making testosterone. And so with infertility, especially male infertility, it could be a zinc deficiency. I had a patient today that came in and has been taking our Min supplement for a while and really noticed a difference in her hair. Not only the fullness, but the softness. And that is because when you add minerals back in, one of the major things you'll find is that hair loss is coming from a mineral deficiency, specifically a zinc one. So how do you get a zinc deficiency? I think this is a really important question to know. And with all my mineral videos, you're going to see that it's pretty similar. But excess sweating, I talked about my son last week and the increase in his workouts caused a magnesium deficiency. Excess sweating, you're working out a lot, that can cause some zinc deficiency as well. But then there's some things like alcohol, caffeine, standard American diet, bad oils, processed foods, all of that is depleting zinc. And believe it or not, many of the medications you are on are depleting zinc as well. So this is a really, really important mineral to add into your diet. So how do you add it in? I think that's probably the most helpful thing I can teach you today. And the number one source for adding minerals in actually comes from beef and from lamb, or adding zinc in. So many vegetarians, and I applaud the vegetarian lifestyle. I was a vegetarian for over a decade until I realized that my body really thrived on meat, and a part of it was that the lack of meat was depleting my minerals and causing me poor health. So sometimes vegetarians, unfortunately, can be low in zinc. If you have a vegetarian lifestyle, you may just decide right off the bat you're going to add some minerals in. It would make perfect sense. Remember, again, what I hear from vegetarians is, well, I've been eating a lot of vegetables, but our soils are depleted. So that you're not getting the nutrients, the minerals out of the soils. So eating a lot of vegetables isn't always the cure. But beef and lamb is the number one source of zinc. Oysters and sardines which is tough because that can be toxic. Our oceans are toxic. But oysters are actually the densest way, the most concentration of zinc in an oyster out of any food. So oysters are an option. Sardines, herring are an option. And then, of course, seeds. So pumpkin and sesame are the highest in zinc. You really, for absorption, want to get sprouted seeds. You don't want to necessarily run into 7-Eleven and look at a bag of pumpkin seeds and think that that's going to increase, help with your depression. Probably not going to work. So you really want to look at how do you get these sprouted. And then, of course, supplementation. I can't emphasize enough how most of us are going to have to supplement. So that's zinc. Serotonin and dopamine, these neurotransmitters that make you so happy. You got to have zinc to do it. Breaking down carbohydrates, you've got to have zinc to do that. So how do you know if you have a zinc deficiency or not? There's a really easy test. In fact, we're putting together a mineral test kit where you guys can test all of these minerals, a really cheap price, and you can find out. We actually ran the tests on my staff last week, and we found out that the majority of my staff actually didn't have a magnesium deficiency. Many of them had a chromium deficiency. And you can do that all through a mineral test that we've created. It's a home kit that we'll send to you. If you're interested in my mineral test, just put mineral test, and we're putting it together now, so give us a week or two, and then we'll send that test to you and send you information on it. But testing always is the most definitive way. Otherwise, you're wasting your money, right? Like my staff, we're all shocked how many of them were good in magnesium. So they don't need to supplement with magnesium. And that happens so much with people when they're testing, when they're taking supplements. They just start taking it. They have no idea why they're taking it. And they don't have any pre and post tests to know if the supplement's working. You know, they do that in the medical world really well. They find you have high blood pressure, they give you some medication, and then they retest you to make sure it's working. So we're doing that with nutrition in here in the office. So if you want to know more about our mineral test, just put mineral test in there. But zinc for depression, really important that you start to look at your minerals if you have any kind of chronic depression or anxiety, and start eating more beef, more oysters, more sardines, getting that into your diet with pumpkin seeds and sesame seeds, and avoid these guys right here, except for excess sweating. I'm a big fan of exercise, but know that if you're a massive exerciser, you're going to need to add those in. Okay? Hope that helps. Have an awesome day.